So I have a new figure from Bandai and s.h.monsterarts, and this is Megaguirus from Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, which came out in 2000. I do have the Godzilla from that film, but unfortunately it's boxed up right now, so I don't have it available. But I will show it in comparison to a different Godzilla. The film is definitely not my favorite Godzilla film. It came out in the Millennium era, which is probably my least favorite era. It has neither the charm of the Showa era nor the tight continuity of the Heisei era. And this is not my favorite kaiju. It's not my least favorite. I do think it does have a compelling design. Flying villains or flying evil kaiju have always been problematic just because of the difficulty of having them fight. And I do think that the climactic fight, there is only one encounter between Megaguirus and Godzilla, and it's definitely not my favorite. They use a lot of CGI, which is pretty dodgy, and the it it so the one of the main abilities of Megaguirus is that he flies at Mach 5. And to simulate his speed, they would use this blur effect that I just don't think looked very good on screen. We also have there's five of these. I'm only going to show one. This is yeah, okay. This is the Meganulon. No, the yeah, I think it's the Meganulon, which is it's like a giant dragonfly. Which these creatures actually made their first appearance in the 1956 Rodan film, and this I believe is the Mega Meganula. It's very complicated. I don't think these are to scale. I think that this is the smallest version, and then this is a larger version, which will and the I guess the queen eventually hatches into the Mega Gyros. Basically, what happens at one point in the film is all these little dragonflies uh, gang up on Godzilla, and they are able to absorb power from him, and then put it into Meganula, and then Meganula hatches into Megaguirus. I believe that's what happens. Um, and Godzilla it wipes out a lot of them, but that is also one of the abilities of Megaguirus is that the tail is able to absorb energy, and so that's one of the things that Megaguirus uses. So Megaguirus will use, um, I guess it's a her speed and her ability to drain energy from Godzilla. So one of the well, oh by the way, that these giant dragonflies are based on an actual creature called the Meganeura, genus of extinct. I'm getting this from Wikipedia. Meganisopteran insects known as griffin flies that were closely related to modern dragonflies and damselflies that lived during the late Carboniferous period, approximately 305 to 299 million years ago. So they are based on actual creatures, although obviously embellished a whole lot. Um, so one of the things to note about this figure, because I do think, let me just say one thing. They do a really good job. Bandai does a really good job on their stands. So it just kind of sits on here, but it's all molded out exactly to the body. So it sits really nice and stable on there. And I've had other flying creatures that use stands, and they were very nice. So this was almost $200 for what you see. There's a few other things, like other pieces to the stand and stuff like this here. But this was nearly $200, and I got it from Kappa Hobby. On other sites, I saw it for even more. So that is a lot to pay for what you get. It is a really nice figure, but $200 is a lot. I'm a little disappointed that the wings don't kind of retract because I've got other Bandai figures, S.H. Monster Arts figures, where the wings do kind of retract. So I think that's cheaping out a little. Although there is a lot of articulation all through here, through the legs and everything. And the tail's got some very nice articulation. At the end of the fight, Godzilla chomps down on his tail. Actually, that would have been neat if they had the broken off, a replaceable piece was broken off after Godzilla bit it, and then he blasts poor Megaguirus. Megaguirus also, I'll just say, bears a striking resemblance to Batra, and I wonder if that's not going to be on the horizon, is a figure of Batra. So I think that for what it is, it's really, really nice. It's just $200. Wow. That is a lot to pay for this, for such a nice figure. The colors are all really nice. This is, if not the best articulation I've seen on an S.H. Monster Arts figure, it's up there. Now, the only I know that the Bandai does they don't just do Godzilla for S.H. Monster Arts, but I only own the Godzilla figures. And I know that Haya is kind of getting a lot of excitement from fans for their Godzilla figures, but I'm not going to collect another one. So you can have it like this, which is the way I'm going to have it. But there's, with that second stand piece and some adjustment on there, you can have Megaguirus in this kind of position where he's using his scorpion tail as a weapon. So that's kind of cool. I think I'm probably going to display it like this. We got the instructions here. Now it shows on here the Meganulons on this stand here, but it says sold separately. So they don't actually come with the stands for displaying that. If you want to have, so you get 5 of them, you could have them, I guess, kind of hovering around Megaguirus. And it shows how to put the stand together for the different ways. The way it would just lie in this flying and then have it tilted with the tail. So let's bring out, this is not from the 2000 film. This is from Godzilla vs. Destroyer, one of the recent films. And so to scale, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. All of these Godzilla figures are very much to scale. Now, they aren't properly to scale in the sense that Godzilla's, they're all about 6.5 inches tall, the Godzillas, despite the fact that in the films they were, Godzilla's size was not consistent throughout the series, but they made them all the same. But when you look at the sizing between, so the 2000 Godzilla would be pretty much the same size as this, and sized up, yeah, that's pretty good. And they do look good together. I think they look really nice. But it is hard for me to get past that $200. Again, on other sites I'm seeing like $220. That is a lot. I don't mean to harp on it, but that is a lot. So Godzilla, when they were fighting, he was using his, Megaguirus was using her scorpion tail. And Godzilla chomped it down, broke it off, and then used his, I guess, because I guess Megaguirus was probably stunned by having her tail chomped on. Godzilla was able to use the opportunity to blast her into oblivion, because generally with her Mach 5 speed, she was able to avoid Godzilla's attacks. So yeah, I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Just wish it was a bit cheaper. I actually looked on Bandai's website. In yen, it was about $138 US. So there was a markup, which almost is always the case. It was not an outrageous markup like double, triple, or whatever, which I have seen sometimes, but expensive figure. So that is Megaguirus from Godzilla vs. Megaguirus by Bandai and S.H. Monster Arts.